Leo video because I'm having a Venus year and this is a Venus day where I'm at. So I'm going to talk about this transit, and kind of like the first thing that came up that made me want to do this is actually Venus in Leo is, Leo is a fixed fire sign. And when I hear about Venus in Leo, people like, wanting the drama of relationship, the attention. I was listening to intuitive readings and the intuitive reader was kind of having this energy about relationship and that relationship drama. Oh, they want you, they're jealous of you, they're this or that. And I was like, I was enjoying to listen to that. And I was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, Venus in Leo. And Leo is also, it rules the heart. So Venus in Leos can also be unapologetically be you. So hi there to the person who's watching. Feel free to comment and drop anything, like even an emoji in the comments, because I read those. Actually, pay attention to those, and it's really nice and helps the algorithm too. So there can be a sense of fire, of drama, um, the drama of the emotion, of passion, of whatnot. And it's good to give it a place, because if you are more like an intellectual or I don't know, air Venus sign, you can kind of find yourself like maybe criticizing or judging this or whatnot. I have Venus and a Mercury deacon, and I'm like, you know, with an aspect to Saturn in the ninth, and I'm like, what, Shirley, what are you watching? What's like this whole soap opera thing? But I'm like, but it's good, and I felt it energetically. I was like, I was just watching that like a soap opera, and then I just cleaned my dishes or um, kind of like I gave a reading, and I was excited, and I was like, oh, it's exciting. There's something exciting. I just accept that. That sometimes those things that can be considered, even to some extent, like superficial, like the drama of relationships, the drama of having a relation, the drama of are they paying attention, are they not paying attention, I don't know, they stalking you, they're not stalking. It's like all those things. Um, in a good way, to give a good direction to this relationship drama, watch soap operas, whatnot, is not a bad thing, because it is an artistic expression. It's a let out, and with the Venus in Leo, it's kind of like people concentrate about the passion, and I was finding myself thinking about Venus, and I was thinking about relationships, and it was like, well, what's the most important thing? And I'm like, to like each other, to like each other. And I was thinking about I had a couple of friends where I saw that firsthand, where they would have, or in the beginning of the relationship with the man they're now married to, they would have a person kind of on the low, catering to them, pleasing them, caring for them, and they didn't want to let him down. It's like they didn't know if they could be the one, because they didn't have that immediate sparks and drama and whatnot. And like when they consulted me, I just it's funny because I'm single, but I've helped so many people with their relationships. Um, that people always would turn to me about these things, and I was like, this is so strange. Like, I'm single, and I know all these things, but I'm single. What's the point? But then it was about some people don't let the other partner kind of cater to them, and understand that on the long run, the fear that you have that you won't be passionate about this person is not based in reality. Because sometimes you give a person a chance, and then you learn that you're safe with them, and then this is the person that you can make all those fantasies come true. Because what do you need to have even the most like kinky fantasies or the most, what is even BDSM. BDSM essentially is trust kink, and eventually when you have two people that like each other or more, if you're polyamorous, uh, if you have the people liking each other, then they have a good chance um, to develop the deeper attraction. Some people say if it's not immediate, if it's not there from the get-go, and with Venus in Leo, people are looking for that. I want to fall in love. I want um, to wake up every day. It's a fixed fire, right? Nothing will satisfy me but to wake up every day to a new honeymoon. It's like an everlasting honeymoon. And yes, a relationship can be like that. It can be like that. Um, but two things you need to be aware of. One is to discern between if a person is just investing in me consistently, or if a person is love bombing. Because with Venus in Leo, it can be a bit of a love bombing. It can be coming from a place that is codependent. It can be coming from, kind of putting up a show instead of dating a real person. So I kind of felt like I wanted to put this um, antidote out there because a lot of people are going to be looking for the drama in relationships, the drama around relationships, around the chase of relationships, around being courted, being catered to, and they're going to look for around those, butterflies. If there's something relationship coaches, the taste is the word butterflies, um, because to actually be able to have all these fantasies coming true consistently, you do need a person that you can trust, and you do need to like the person. So for Venus in Leo, if you naturally have Venus in Leo and you haven't like coped with that thing, you're like, I'm still looking for the love of my life, and I'm like, I don't know, 30 something. That can probably that be that the love of your life is not who you think that the love of your life is. Um, it's probably you're probably looking for a person to immediately be like in the movies, where you miss out on the people that are just catering to your needs and making sure that you are um, happy and satisfied, but also have their own lives, and do that consistently. Because Venus in Leo is a fixed fire. It's a fire that lasts. It's very capable of those long-term passions. Um, but the pitfall is that because there is a need, because the heart is open, then it's difficult to, and you look for that passion. It's a fire sign. You look for the passion in the heart, um, but you don't pay attention that that passion sometimes takes time to develop and takes time to grow, and then it burns, and then it keeps on, you know, um, the fire keeps going. So this is actually, it can be a great time if you remember that you need to like each other. Like each other as a person. And this is also why for some people, like, they need this process of having all kinds of sexual encounters or sexual affairs or whatnot before they get into that relationship stuff, because it's quite a while before you'll have that, mind-blowing sex. Um, and at the end of the day, who are you going to stay with? Who are you going to, if it's sharing a household, who are you going to share a household with? Who are you going to spend, most of your weekend and night hours with? Would you like it to be the person that you had, you know, that you had good sex with, but you don't like as a person, you don't get each other as a person, you don't feel good together as people? Or would it be the person that you absolutely like? You absolutely like them as a person, you're absolutely thankful that they're in your life. Like, even if, worst case scenario, you're not really sexually compatible, you still want them in your life. It just might not be the person you are having the affair with, or it could be some sort of an open relationship, or it can be some sort of a deep friendship. But that friendship is important, and that is, look for the, whatever gender you are, look for the person that you want in your life, no matter what role they take on. Because that, that, like, if you manifest that, the person that is safe to be with, you can be yourself around. This is also very important because we all, kind of tend to, especially if you don't get a lot of dates or whatnot, you kind of like, oh, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna you put on a show, but you want to be thinking about what are those places where I can just be myself. Who are those people where I am just myself, and they're not only still around, but the, I like them. I like them. They can be themselves with me, and we're both still around, and we really like each other, and we just like, you know give that a go, get to know that deeper, do more things together, go on a trip, go do those, do more things together, see if they're overall supportive your life mission, your life work. Can you tell your visions to them? Can you Are they supportive when you tell your visions to them? Do they believe in you? Do they empower you? Because the Venus in Leo can be very, very empowering. It's a very empowering sign. Um, just need to make sure that that the mutual, I really like this person, and then, and then the fire can grow, and then you can actually bring into real life manifestation of all of those fantasies you've gathered around, because with this person you can trust that you can actually do that. And if something doesn't work out so well, you're still friends, you still trust each other. And if you need to say something, oh, hi Rashini, feel free to ask questions if you have any. And if you all those things that can happen when people actually, let's say, you talk about passion. Yes, yes, you do. Well, then ask. And so if you talk about passions, all those fantasies that we have, when we come to implement something, also think about even when you open a business, right? You have this idea, I want to be an astrologer. Yay, I open up a Twitter account, YouTube account. Oh, wait, the election. Oh, damn. Which field do you choose to should you study if you're not sure? For this, I would need a reading. This is actually a question for a reading. So if you do have planets in Aquarius, you can apply for a subsidized reading where it doesn't cost you, because it's 12 house charity for me. Other than that, a reading with me is $50. And yes, I can definitely look with you at where your passion is, where your heart is, and also what is the place of career in your life. Is it something to do with the life mission, and how can you adjust it to your lifestyle? So yes, absolutely, this is something that I do in my readings. But I would need to look at the chart. It's just not a question that I can answer without data. But thank you for asking. Um, so and this is true, like if you're watching this, mostly, like, if it's a personal question related to your chart, I'm gonna need to see your chart. So this is an actual reading. I do Yes, I do readings, $50 for reading, yes, absolutely. um, So, yeah, so going back to the Venus in Leo, um, the good thing, fixed fire. If you're turned on by someone, it can be something that can last for a while. The pitfall, make sure that you're turned on because you like this person. And the fear that people have when I say, people need to like each other. I also had that. I was like, how do you like the person? How does now? But what about the sex? Of course, when you are trusting this person, if there is good chemistry, then it's going to grow and it's going to manifest, it's going to be deeper. And then, it's not like the movies. When you actually come to implement something, then sometimes this doesn't go right, sometimes that doesn't go right, but eventually you have a friend that you can, and the intimacy that you have together can get you through those things where you need to discuss, what you actually like, or maybe you had a fantasy, but when you try to implement that, it's kind of like, oh, that's not really what you thought, or maybe something that you didn't think you're like, oh, that's really enjoyable. Um, but this is something that can only happens with two people that like each other, that genuinely like each other, that genuinely trust each other. That's what you need to pay the emphasis on. Um, because I see a lot of these, relationship drama going on. And also, if you do have this relationship drama thing, go watch soap operas. Um, find a good outlet for that. Go watch, intuitive readers about relationships. Go, you know, do that, but at the same time, stay grounded and understand that it's something for the long run, and something can only be truly satisfying if you can be yourself there. Um, and with Leo, there's a great potential to find a place where you are you. You're doing you. It's very vulnerable, authentic, heart open, and because it needs a lot of attention and a lot of catering and a lot of appreciation, a lot of admiration to who you are, there can be a susceptibility to somebody, putting up a false front or something like that. But it's just if you can, if you're naturally Venus in Leo, if you can make the effort to pay attention that you like this person, not just they're liking you, so that you like this person for more than they're just loving you. Do you like them as a person, or do you just like how they treat you? They need to both treat you well and be a person that you genuinely like. And when you get these two together, then that's the basis. This is what you're manifesting. This is where you're heading. Um, because we tend to look at, with Venus in Leo, we tend to look at, am I infatuated? And then there can be, because it's a fire sign, the need to prove oneself, the need to show oneself. There can be even, it's a young sign, so there can be even a tendency to kind of like the chase, or somebody not being perfectly available. It's not about that. The high frequency of that is that someone has their own life and they have standards and they make the time, and when they're with you, they tend to you. When they're with you, they're with you. And to see that they're doing that consistently, that something grows consistently and you genuinely like each other, that even if you did not have, like, if, let's say, imagine you were ace, that you could not have sex with this person, you were not, this person could not have sex with you, would you still like each other? That is not easy to do if there is an attraction. But it's very important if you do manifestation, to manifest liking each other, being ourselves around each other, having trust together, having that good friendship together, and then having, you know, that passion, that compatibility, that chemistry together, and paying attention, you know, liking each other first, liking each other first, because Venus in Leo is fixed fire. It's not with Aries. It could be like, oh, you were, you know, you were infatuated, but then you found out the like this is not the person you can live with. Okay, fine then. You know, you move on easily, even if you got hurt sometimes. You move on. You rejuvenate. Leo is fixed. It means that to move on from this relationship, to move on from this connection, if it's based on just sensuality, it can be the people that have like the makeup sex or the sex with the ex or the whatnot. Again, it's not necessarily like I don't want to be stigmatic here, but I'm just what could be the pitfalls if there are pitfalls. It's like you really want to make sure that you pay attention, that you like this person, that this person likes you, that you really enjoy being around each other, not just for the way he makes you feel, but for it's just you can be yourself around them, and they can be themselves around you. And then and your life paths, your you know, there's the sentence of Goethe, which was also Leo, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, love does not consist of two people looking at each other. It's two people looking at the horizon and going towards something together. But then they still have to like each other. Um, yeah, so this is a very fortunate, it's very visible. There's something very visible. There's something, I noticed that the transition to Venus in Leo, and I'm Venus in Taurus. It's opposition by Saturn. It's kind of like this, how should I say it? More reserved kind of feel to it. Um, but with the Venus in Leo, it's like I'm much more easily confident and vulnerable and admit that I can enjoy certain drama or certain something that I don't wouldn't usually tend to. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. I see it's working in my daily life. Okay, that's good. And it's more. There's something funnily enough more down to earth. Well, I have the sun, you know, ruling Leo in Taurus, but it's kind of like more down to earth. Um, and I think because the you know Taurus and Leo square, then it's like each other's blind spot. So the blind spot for the Taurus is like, oh, you do like this drama. It's like you want to thrive, you want to be, you know, easy, smooth, but it's like, oh, there's a side in you that does enjoy, that can enjoy certain dramas. But the you know the blind spot of Leo sometimes can be, darling, you are a fixed fire. You are fixed. You need something that is fixed. You need something. You're not easily changeable. You're not. How should I say it? You you're a commitment person. You're not an affair person, because a Leo Venus or Leo Sun can sometimes think that they are always looking for the people who are hard to get, or they enjoy the chase, or it's like they try to don't understand what's on with them, but it's like no, it's like wanting a person that has their own life together, um, but it oop. Oh, but it's important to be able to express the drama of emotions, and uh, and the like the archetype of the Leo. It's like it's important that all sides get to express that vulnerability and be mutually admired, um, and oh, and understand, because if you're like, you know, genuinely, I don't know, a Leo, then you're like, no, you want to be worshipped. You want to be worshipped. And if you go to an earth sign, they're like, dude, But no, you need to be worshipped. So you need somebody that can worship you in the way that you enjoy, but you also need to worship them in the way that they enjoy. Okay, so that's like, this is a pitfall, but don't give up your need to be worshipped. Some people can see, oh no, that's what's on with that. Leave that alone. It's not for you. So you can't be yourself around them. Um, but just also making sure that you're also being attentive, that you're also um, keep doing those things that you did in the beginning. Um, Again, it's a fixed fire, so that's what it requires. What you did at the beginning of the relationship, you're gonna have to do to the end. This is something to remember with all the fixed signs, whether it's Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, where you were, where you did at the beginning of the relationship. To reignite the fire, you're gonna have to do that again, and it's fixed. It's long term. So you gotta think to yourself, okay, what can I commit to on the long term in terms of lifestyle, and what not. Okay, it can be that you had this great I don't know, weight loss program, but then you were like, okay, you've gained, let's say, 5 kilos, and you're like, I'm okay with this 5 kilos. Well, your partner isn't. Now they think that you don't love them anymore because you're not taking care of your health as much as, like, it's just lack of love language understanding. Um, with the fixed sign, you want to make sure that if you enter relationships or manifest relationship or whatnot, where you begin the relationship, your habits, your lifestyle, if those change, then it can be that you will need to change your relationship. Again, fixed. Um, mm, mm, mm. And the extra saucy drama, those, butterflies or whatnot. And this is the most difficult thing, because some people are like, I want those butterflies all the time. And those butterflies, they will be there from time to time, but there's also the in between. So yes, because even if you do the same thing over and over again, or if you keep finding, new ways to be of interest to each other, and keep being excited from each other, that's good. That this can happen, but then, like, you don't want this to turn into a choir, and so you need to make sure that you're up to that kind of dynamic, and the other person is also up to that kind of dynamic. Like, for example, if Leo would ask me out right now with the Sun and Venus in Taurus, and they would expect me to, I don't know, shave my armpits every day, and I'm like, sometimes I shave my armpits, sometimes I don't. I love you either way. But for them, it's gonna be like, no. But when we first dated, you were like, you didn't have hair in your. I don't want those hair in the armpit, girl. And I'm like, but I'm those hair in the armpits, girl. It's kind of like, I'm a different type, you know. It's not going to change. So make sure that you can be yourself around each other, because it's true. People grow, people change, and what is squaring to us, to our Sun, to our Venus, to our Mars, to our personal planets, is a point of growth. But think of it: do you want to continuously be under pressure with your significant other, or do you look for some place where you can just be you? And um, and that's something good to kind of define uh, in that issue. So more on a Venus in Leo. Anything to do with acting. Instead of acting out, so drama therapy, very good. acting a scene or expressing something in a scene without, instead of making a scene, do it in acting. Um, that's wonderful. Another issue. Well, what happens when you do want to change? How do you introduce change to your life when something is fixed? Um, it's something to think of. It can be different for different people. But if you said from the get-go that you're willing to change something, what are the things that you're willing to change? What are the things that you're like, okay, I'm just radically accepting that about me? Wonderful. This is the time to do that. What are the things that I'm willing to change? What are the things that I would love if they were different, but I'm accepting that about me, and kind of have that notion, because fixed fire is also a place where there can be continuous change and continuous growth and continuous alchemy. So it can be a place for continuous growth, continuous change, continuous alchemy, but you gotta be specific about where do you want to continuously grow and continuously change. It's not the growth and change, and that's you're like the Pluto in the Leo generation. It's not the growth of change of Scorpios like death and rebirth and crisis, and so it's just continuous growth. Um, where do you want to continuously grow in your life? Think about it. Those are good things to think about, with young, active fire sign. Um, it can be a change to first of all, the appearance can be more dramatic. You can wear, like it can be expressed in your clothing, in your gestures. Um, this is something you're not afraid to be seen or to show yourself. And also take into the consideration that, Venus is going to to move to Virgo. Um, so again, this is something that's going to change. Um, so it's something that you want to capitalize on for, if it is a relationship, a transit for you. So those things I said in the beginning, pay attention that you like the person, that they like you. That's something you want to pay attention to. Genuinely liking each other. Genuinely liking each other. Because that's going to stay. Okay, if it's activating like a seventh house or a relationship, Time Lord with you, that can be something that starts now and can stay. Do pay attention that Venus is leaving in opposition with Pluto, so that's kind of in the background. You can decide on the orb and like, is it in orb or not? It's leaving in opposition. It's not applying, but still it's there. um, uh, but the most of it, Venus transit in a sign, it means that for the while that Venus is in that sign, it's just like a month or two, unless it's like a Venus retrograde, then it's a bit more, that you can enjoy the bounty of Venus. And in Leo, enjoying the drama, acting out, drama therapy, expressing yourself, being open-hearted, being vulnerable, not being afraid to be you, enjoying, allowing yourself to receive praise, praising others, um, growing somewhere, like beginning of changing something that doesn't take a lot to change, because it is a transit. All of those things can be wonderful, and do remember that you need to pay attention to your Venus in your natal chart, because right now if Venus is in Leo, and Leo, let's say, is your ninth house, and you do travel or you are in the academia, so you can meet someone with the Leo, And you can think, oh my gosh, maybe I found this person, maybe they're the one, and they're like, but your Venus is like, I don't know, in Aries, although they're compatible, but it's like it's not ruling your ninth house, it's not aspecting your ninth house ruler, it's not doing any of that. Um, it doesn't mean that you cannot that it won't last. You need to look at the whole synastry, you need to look at the whole relationship, but take into account that that can be something that you thought was going to be something, but it's not actually igniting your chart. It's not actually fulfilling the needs of your relationship chart rulers. Okay, like I said, with the Venus in Taurus versus Venus in Leo. Okay, Venus in Taurus is like she's gonna appreciate you, but she's gonna need to see you eye to eye, and she might not be able to be like a worshiping kind of archetype. She's just going to be someone who's eye level and who loves you very deeply, and then but then the Leo Venus is going to need this admiration and appreciation and passion in the eyes that the Venus in Taurus might not be able to continuously provide, or may feel that it's superficial, that it's something not natural to her, or that she has to play a role in there. So you want to definitely be looking at those compatibility of your Time Lords, because this is a transit, and again, the if you take that first snippet of make sure you like each other and you trust each other as people, it's not gonna let you down. Like, I mean, of course, you can discover stuff about the person, but if you manifest that, that's a good thing to go with. And manifestation is great. Venus, anything to do with Venus, a relationship, love, appearance, um, Venus-related careers, okay, even beauty careers, manifesting, using the fixed fire to manifest something. Again, you need to look at the chart, because August is a bit of a month, you know. Um, but it's nothing harmful to set out an intent, and then if it's going to be more powered by this by the Venus in Leo transit, wonderful. If not, okay. So that was me, and I do readings. It's $50 for a reading. You do come with the questions that you have, so I can help you particularly, and I know what of the signification applies to you and what of the significations matters to you. It's most likely to coincide with the Time Lord that you do have acting in your activating your chart. Um, so yeah, that's just the way things are. But still, I much rather that you'll ask a question and I hear from you how this applies to you, so that my reading is more focused to what you can benefit, and not just to what I know that can be less accurate when you don't give me your own like data. Um, Tali Share on Twitter, Shelly Youngblood on Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.